Good morning, everybody. Dominic Gladstone here, and in a moment, I'm joined with Kelly Dugan. You can see our logos up there, Gladstone and Associates, and Kelly Dugan Image Consulting. And we've come out with this exciting new thing, a collaboration for 2021 called Up Your Digital Game. And joining me this morning is my good friend and fellow consultant, Kelly. So, good morning, Kelly. How you doing?
Good morning, Dom. Good to be with you here and excited to talk about our program, Up Your Digital Game. So,
So we've prepared a free gift. Well, let's start with how we came up with the idea. You and I were chatting last year, and there were a number of issues that came up through the pandemic with
mhm,
people having to do virtual meetings, virtual presentations. I mean, look at the way Zoom and Google Meet and
mhm.
WebEx and all these other services just took off like crazy. I mean, we had video conferencing before, but it was more like a planned event kind of thing, as opposed to
Right.
a more spontaneous sort of let's have a video meeting instead of a phone call. So you and I got to chatting and we thought, how can we help people? You saw a bunch of advertisements for people who are trying to help people with personal branding. And I saw a bunch of ads that were related to, technology and live streaming and so forth, which I've been doing for years.
Mhm.
So we thought, well, there's nobody doing both, and what? Just tell our audience a little bit about how this evolved, and then we've got a great freebie we're giving away.
Yes, that's so true. And I was thinking, as I saw these different platforms offering different services, and with the many different meetings that I was on with social media and so forth, that people were struggling, and we were kind of thrown in this. Workers who had worked from a desk at a business and so forth were all of a sudden thrown into working from home and not having great office setup, and not being fully prepared. Maybe they sat in the back rows of the digital video conferences, but they weren't up front where they needed to present or be more active, and they weren't set up properly to do that. And in my world of personal branding, what I saw is people were starting to create risks for themselves, maybe not fully aware, or possibly aware, but just not really realizing how to handle it. So, with what we put together here from my side of expertise of presence and personal branding, and your side of the videography and camera and lighting and so forth, that we put together really a great document here that I know that people are going to want to get and receive the tidbits of information within that are within it. I know in mine that I put a great checklist together and how it can help you, again, become aware maybe of what you're doing well, maybe what needs to be tweaked, or what possibly that you're bombing on. Now, I was just on a webinar last night, and content was great. Her lighting wasn't bad. Her background around her was not, causing any issues of distracting, but she sat and wobbled the whole time. I got dizzy listening to her speak. It's kind of hard to talk or to watch somebody and understand their message when they're doing
Right.
this the whole time.
Yeah.
When you think about your behavior and your posture and so forth. So I didn't hear her message maybe 100% because of the wobbling. But again, we're going to have great tips, and I know people are going to want to get this information. It's from our years of experience and knowledge, but also really being out in the trenches and using and doing this.
Absolutely.
So,
Um,
Dom, I know that you've shared some things as we've been together. Share a little bit about how maybe you've helped me with even setting up a mic today, to some lighting where I'm in transition with some office setting area, new desk, and trying to get things set up. Share a little bit how you've helped me, and what you're offering in this great document.
Well, that was a great synopsis of our conversation. We talked about all of the trials and tribulations of suddenly being thrust into, constant video meetings one after another. Um, and by the way, I've read a recent study. I haven't even shared this with you, but there are a couple of marketing studies that are showing that these virtual meetings are not going away anytime soon. So if you all think you're going back to the office, and it's going to end. Actually, this is becoming the new normal, and the
Mhm.
audiences for presentations have an
Right.
expectation now. They're saying that people have an expectation that meetings are going to be hybrid and virtual in the future.
Mhm.
That an industry that was scheduled to grow has been thrust into growing at a dynamic rate, going straight up. So if y'all think this is going away soon, it is not. It is only going to become more intense. So I'm thinking if you're buying your next house, instead of worrying about what the master bedroom looks like, first stop should be, where is my office going?
I
Um,
had that exact thought this morning as I was getting ready and we were planning for this and so forth. It's like, that's going to be a new thing. Like, what's your space or what's your room going to be in your home uh, for, video conferencing, digital presentation?
So I get calls all the time from people about technology. I'll get an email, a text message, a phone call. Somebody asks me what webcam to buy, what microphones work best. How can I make a dynamic presentation online? I'm trying to do a PowerPoint, and I'm trying to also not be off screen all the time doing a screen share. How do I do all this stuff? So I for years I've been getting those calls, but last year I got a lot of them. So when you and I got to
Mhm.
chatting, we thought it would be a splendid collaboration to say, let's take the personal branding, the front of the house, if you will,
Mhm.
as we say, let's take the front of the house, and then my end, the back of the house, the technology that makes it all work, and how to combine those things. What I'd like to believe at this point is a once in a lifetime offering kind of thing, at least for the moment, till somebody else does it. But it's a once in a lifetime type of thing, because a lot of times these things are separate. But you and I said these things go hand in hand. You want to
Mhm.
be
They
concerned with
do.
your personal presence, how you dress, how you act, how you look, but you also want to be concerned with how you sound, and what cameras you're using, and what kind of lighting setup you're using. And not saying that we have any magic bullet that this is going to be perfect, but that's why we call it up your digital game. We didn't call it perfect your digital game. We called it up your digital game.
Right.
So my end of it is going to be a tech guide. I go through webcams, microphones, lighting. Um, I built out my own home office. I mean, I pretty much built and designed a home office specifically for production. So, I've got a big screen monitor in front of me here, and a couple of side screens, and some studio monitors here, and up above on stands, and wire management. I mean, it designed all of this from scratch. It was kind of fun for me. I never thought I was going to be that kind of designer. So it's a real opportunity for me to share with crossover audiences that maybe not thinking about the tech, or maybe they have one tech question, but we solve a lot of challenges in
Mhm.
our little guide here. Um, and by the way, this is not a one-page checklist. Kelly mentioned her checklist. We've got about a 12-page document for you. So this is not one of those freebies that it's just a one pager or something like that.
Mhm.
We're asking you to sign up on our email list and get your free tech and personal branding guide, 12 packed pages of free information that would cost hundreds of dollars in consulting fees. Tell them a little bit more about what you cover, Kelly, in your end of the guide.
Yes, thanks, Dom. With it, I've included some of those myths that you might think of, well, maybe this doesn't count for me, or like you're talking about, the more elaborate tech side of needs. Maybe you don't need all that. For me, I didn't, but we're putting together, there's still an element of needing to raise that level of what you have in your tech side of it, as well as for my side, in the sense of how you present really does matter. So we want to help break and bust some of those myths that you might have out there. Also, where I say a lot of it is just raise your awareness. And there are some tidbits in here that are going to help you really think through. Well, maybe I am creating some rest. Like my gal last night on the call, she probably
Yeah.
had no idea she was doing this the whole time. And did she lose her presence, yeah, some, maybe it didn't bomb her out. I did get great information from what she was delivering, but still it was a distraction, and you don't want that. So we'll help you think through and maybe become a little bit more aware of how you are presenting, that awareness game. And then I've lost track of the numbers, but it's like a full page personal brand checklist that you're going to get. So again, going to help you raise some awareness. I would say some you may know, but again, are you practicing these tips or strategies on a regular basis? What's going to be right for you? It's going to help you think about, how do you engage? How do people see you? How do you connect? Now we're networking digitally now. So how you present is super powerful. And again, from the myths to raising that level of awareness, and this checklist that you'll have for crafting a brand presence for yourself digitally is going to be worth its weight in gold for you. I tell you this because I practice what I preach. So, and I know what it's done for me in growing a business, growing a career, and these secrets and tips can be yours too.
Awesome. Yeah, on my tech guide, I provide for you a whole bunch of information about what choices you have out there and what to buy and what's recommended. But one of the key things is you don't have to spend thousands of dollars either to look good, to make things happen. I'm not going to suggest that you go out and buy a $2,000 lighting kit for your house. I have lighting tips that are simple lighting tips. And then microphone choices. Both of us today are using a Blue Yeti microphone, which is one of the recommendations that, is provided. And how to use that sort of thing is, something that we might cover. So, and the advantage of using a separate myophone from your webcam. So I'm, looking forward to sharing this. Hopefully our audience is going to go to upyourdigitalgame.com, upyourdigitalgame.com, and sign up for a free gift from us. No obligation. Don't even have to talk to us. Just sign up on our email list. And then we have one other ask, which is please share it with a friend. Closing thoughts, Kelly?
I would just say and hope that you take advantage of this offer. Again, I've stumbled through this. If you're not on the tech side and you don't, you might know from the fashion side how to present yourself, but we're going to share, again, tried and true expertise level information in the download that you're going to be able to get. Hopefully you got that out.
Instant download.
And you'll be able to garner great information out of that instant download that you're going to be able to get from this offering today, and just really hope you'll join us.
Thank you. So thanks for listening in today, and you can up your digital game. So